Jack.
The jack comes off, but it is a jack of clubs. Daniel has a flush draw. It is not over.
We've seen Daniel pull this rabbit out of a hat once before. He looked like he was going to get eliminated, needed running spades and hit him. Can he hit the club?
The level of play in these games for the stakes that we're playing is pretty surprising. I would say it's about the equivalent of maybe a live 1-3 game at a big property here in Vegas.
Yeah, so one of the cool features for the games in WPT Global is that they limit the number of professional players to 2 per table. So you can hop in there and expect a very fair and beatable lineup.
I think I'm up about 20,000 in the cash games the last 3 days or so.
Fun cash games, can't really overstate it.
Action on Fred Goldberg. Fred, a World Series of Poker bracelet holder. Also the only player left that's made a WPT final table. Finished 4th at Foxwoods a few years back.
He's got to regroup. He's been raising a lot pre-flop, and anytime somebody's been 3-betting and coming over the top, he's been laying it down. So the next time he puts raise in pre-flop, he's got to be able to draw a line in the sand and take the heat if he gets re-raised. So here we go.
Raising with those marginal hands. Getting re-raised and throws his hand away, meaning he gives up that money. Folded around to Jen Hwang.
That's not a marginal hand.
Picked up ace king out of the big blind. This could spell total doom for Fred Goldberg.
What is Jin gonna do here?
Okay, I'm loading.
And again, the 3-bet over the top of Fred Goldberg. And as you mentioned, time and time again, he's given up the pot in this spot. I just don't know if he's got enough chips to continue giving these up. At some point, you're just going to have to gamble for your chips and hope to double up to stay alive.
Is he going to draw a line in the sand here?
Nice hand.
No, says Fred Goldberg as he pitches the King-7.
Jen Hwang got into this tournament by winning a $350 satellite. He's a businessman, owns a gas station and convenience store. Been playing poker 25 years though, but this is his first ever WPT event.
Let's get a look at the prize payouts here. 922 grand for first. On deck though, 4th place money, 280 and change. And let's of course not forget the Player of the Year points.
Whoever wins this tournament will be in 2nd place behind Will the Thrill Faella, who not only won the Legends of Poker but finished 11th in this tournament. Almost made this final table.
Yeah, Will's on a real heater. 2 9s for Bobby Oboodi, who opens the pot for a raise. Daniel Busgin gets out of the way, and upside down 9s for Jin Hwang. Pocket 6s. $450 to call, which Jin does. And look at this, another pocket pair, Mike.
Well, Fred Goldberg with the 2 deuces, so 3 players out of 4 in this spot, they all have a pair. It's 2 9s, 2 6s, 2 deuces. Flop comes 10-8-3 with 2 spades. Bobby Oboodi still out in front with the 2 9s. It's check to him. Wow, I am surprised he would check 2 9s there. That looks like a good flop to me for 2 9s.
Now the board pair's on the turn.
Why would you want an ace, king, queen, or jack to come off there? Well, if I got to bet, you got to give this hand up. I would have bet the flop if I'd have been Bobby. And Jin Hwang betting on the turn now, and you don't blame me. He thinks the 6s are the best hand.
Firing about 1/3 of the pot, and Fred Goldberg can't help but call, and that lets Bobby Oboodi fold the best hand.
Both of these guys thought Oboodi had 2 big cards, something like king jack or ace queen.
Oh, look at that river.
Now this counterfeits both players actually. Both players are playing 10s and 8s. Jin's kicker, the 6, is the best hand.
Yeah, his kicker actually plays. Like Fred is playing the board. 10s and 8s with a 3.
Kidding me. Jesus Christ.
So Jin Hwang with just a 6 high, going to bet 1.1 million.
I hate to say it, but I wonder whether or not Jin knows he's been counterfeited, if he's paying enough attention here, if he's just firing on autopilot.
Oh, why didn't I shove the flop?
Well, we don't know that. This is first tournament cash ever, first WPT event.
It doesn't matter now. Goldberg lays down the deuces, obviously. And Jin takes the pot.
Hwang got in this tournament by winning a satellite, and he is doing quite well. He's in a small blind.
Squeezing out Queen 10 off.
All right, I'm all in.
Been shipping it all in.
You want to sweat this with me? Yeah, let's sweat together.
So it looks like they're going to sweat together.
I call. Let's go.
Bobby Oboodi has 2 5s and makes the call.
I like it. I like it. The shift. Come on, baby. One time.
Classic race.
One time.
Red slightly out in front.
We're racing.
Win tournaments, you got to win races. Who's going to win this race?
Sweat it with you guys.
We need to win.
Bobby heading over to his gallery.
Hold up. Come on, Danny.
Goldberg asking for a little positive juju.
Everybody on their feet here at Borgata. Here comes the flop.
5 o'clock.
Goldberg's tournament life on the line. And a queen right in the door from queen a 3.
Neither player with a club. Flush draw. Not of concern.
See Bobby shaking his head. Well, 9 of clubs comes off.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. He only has one out. He only has one out, and then we can chop. Don't do it. Come on. It's a bad beat.
Bobby can only win the pot if the
Ace
5 of hearts
of
comes
hearts.
up. Any club will give him a
Come
split
on.
pot.
Don't do it.
Goldberg thinking red here on the river.
Don't do it.
Well, here comes the river card. It's the 4 of clubs. They are both going to make a club flush and split this pot. Heartbreak once again for Fred Goldberg. No, he didn't get knocked out, but it feels like it when you lose with that hand.
Chop it up, all that.
Well, we may be in Jersey, but Goldberg just gave us a little French there under his breath. He was displeased.
That's not a win, buddy. That's not a win at all. That's a bad loss. It's a seriously bad loss. Ball win.
Fred Goldberg
Yes.
with the 8 jack of diamonds, chipping it all
Cannot
in.
tango with you this time, man. I'm sorry.
Ball win.
Sorry, I can't call you.
All right, let's go.
I got 10 eye on you.
Jin knows enough to pitch that 10-7 offsuit here. Goldberg gets a little boost to his stack, but he still needs plenty of help. As you see the chip counts there, he's sitting with less than 4 million, and the
Would've been
blinds at
raised.
150 and 300.
That's what I do,
The
though.
ante of 30,000 in hand.
All 4 of these guys going for the first ever WPT title.
In the front table bowl,
Those
bro.
opportunities don't come along very often. You got to take advantage of it if you get here.
Bobby's taking advantage of an ace-9 offsuit four-handed. Makes it 600 to go.
Daniel and
You know
Jin go
what?
out.
Let's just throw it off a little bit and call.
Oh, we're gonna see a flop without the cards being.
Red defense,
go.
10-9, dominated heading to the flop.
You know what? Go ahead. Take it away, kid.
Check dark.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fred checks dark and he flopped top pair and a gunshot
All right,
straight
that's
draw.
600,000.
All right, let's go all in.
And on 600,000, Fred quickly goes all in, and Bobby quickly calls. Bobby Oboodi in great shape to eliminate Fred Goldberg from this tournament.
I'm winning. I have ace-9 against 9-10.
He's got him out kicked. Both players have 2 9s.
10 ball.
Bobby has an ace kicker. Fred has a 10 kicker, but he does have a gunshot straight draw.
Let me get lucky one time.
Fred's looking for a 10 or an 8 here to jump into the lead in this pot.
Came 6-6 or 7-7 or another 9 in one of those cards. They would split this pot. But as it is, Fred Goldberg in dire straits.
5.
Well, there's one of the 7s. So if a 7 or a 9 comes up, they would split the pot. An 8 or a 10 comes up, Fred Goldberg will win the pot, but that's all he can win with.
Oh, you gotta make me sweat. You gotta make me sweat myself sweating it. 5.
Fred's thinking a chop would be justice considering the clubs that Bobby pulled on him last time, but it's not to be.
Nope, it's a jack. Fred Goldberg going out in 4th place, the tough player out of South Florida. You know, some days just aren't meant to be, Ali, and this is one of those days for Fred Goldberg.
He is taking home a 280K haul though.
And right now, Fred's standing by at the Royal Flush Girl Social Bar. Let's hear what he has to say.
Got unlucky a couple times. Guy hit runner flush on me. I would have had a big chip lead, and just got unlucky. I got unlucky a few hands ago. I have flush on the board. I mean, what can you do? Can't really do much. He was embarrassed about his friends a little bit. They were a little unclassy. So nothing against him. Just his crew just don't know how to behave.
The level of play in these games for the stakes that we're playing is pretty surprising. I would say it's about the equivalent of maybe a live 1-3 game at a big property here in Vegas.
Yeah, so one of the cool features for the games in WPT Global is that they limit the number of professional players to 2 per table. So you can hop in there and expect a very fair and beatable lineup.
I think I'm up about 20,000 in the cash games the last 3 days or so.
Fun cash games, can't really overstate it.
Temperature is outside right now, but it just heated up in here, Mike.
I guarantee you players have a great time here at Borgata if they're in that pool the same time the Royal Flush Girl.
Speaking of great times, Bobby Oboodi smooth sailing over 20 million in chips with the blinds at 2 and 400,000.
Once again, an amazing turnout here. Borgata, record-setting field, the largest ever in the history of the WPT.
A limp from Bobby in the small blind with the ace. He's got Daniel in rough shape. Jack 3 as they head to the flop.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now here's the flop. Queen Jack, 8, 2 hearts.
Check.
Bobby checks. Daniel has made the best hand with 2 jacks.
And Daniel with middle pair. No kicker is going to check behind.
Doesn't want to fall in any traps here. Now the deuce comes off. And again, Bobby checks. But now Daniel feels like the jacks are the best hand, so he is going to fire a wager.
450,000, can't blame him.
Look at this. This is going to be a check raised by Bobby Oboodi.
Wow.
Folks, I guarantee you, if you're sitting in Daniel's seat right now, you're saying, oh, I can't believe it. And if I call this bet, what's he going to do to me on the river? Is he going to bomb the pot with more millions? I just can't take it.
That's right. It's not about what you're doing now. It's about what you're doing now and what you're going to have to do later. Daniel knows he's facing that dilemma and lets it go.
Nice bluff.
Well, this is the case that Daniel just got outplayed by Bobby Oboodi, no doubt about it. Great check raise there on the turn. And Jin Hwang is going to make the call here with the 7 deuce.
It's going to cost him an extra 600 if he wants to continue.
I guess you've been waiting for it.
Oboodi says, you know, the guy couldn't raise it. I don't think he can beat this queen 9 of diamonds. Let me shoot it up.
Good situational awareness by Bobby. And Jin lights a match to 200,000 unnecessarily.
Action back on Jin.
On the button.
Jin throwing away the 10-4. And this time Bobby Oboodi's got the 8 deuce.
He'll make it 800,000 to go. A little min raise. That's what Jin should have done a hand ago. At least give himself a chance to win the pot uncontested.
5 high.
As we see Bobby does right here. Daniel throwing away the 5 high.
It's easy when you never have anything.
It's like 5-4 off. If it's suited, it could be one thing.
He's raising with queen 9s, raising with 8 deuces. Bobby Oboodi in dead stroke right now, well on his way to taking down his first WPT title.
Well, they say being passionate about whatever it is that you commit to in life is a requisite to being successful, and these young guns certainly are passionate. You see Bobby Oboodi opening the pot with a raise to 800,000, sitting on king, queen off. Daniel Buskin's got a couple of 7s.
I'm all in.
Daniel's on the short stack here, and he's going all in with the 2 walking sticks.
Oh, look at this. Ace king suited for Jin. I smell fireworks.
I don't see how you can lay this down.
I call.
Well, he has made the call.
Wow. Jesus. Can I get a count, please?
Bobby wants to know how much it is. Recognize that he could end this tournament right here if he could bust them both.
Well, this is an approximation. We have like 12 million range or like?
Probably 10 million.
Actually, it's fine. I fold.
Just going to get out of their way.
You fold, right? You gotta fold it.
I know.
And wisely so, as he was dominated.
You gotta pay.
Jin suspected he was up against a pair, and sure enough, another one of these races, Mike.
They just come up time and time again in tournament poker.
Best case scenario.
Yeah, it's ace king
Best case
suited
scenario.
versus pocket pair. Now the reason the percentages aren't closer is because Bobby folded a king and a heart.
Tip the scales a bit in Daniel's favor. Heading to the flop, will his 7s hold up? It's queen 10-9 with a couple of clubs, 2-7 still in the lead. The Jin can jump out in front with a jack to make a straight or a king or an ace for a bigger pair.
Deuce of clubs.
Well, that's not the greatest for 2-7s.
Come on, jack up.
Here comes the turn.
Jack up. Jack up.
Jack comes off, but it is a jack of clubs. Daniel has a flush draw. It is not over.
We've seen Daniel pull this rabbit out of a hat once before. He looked like he was going to get eliminated, needed running spades and hit him. Can he hit the clubs?
Diamond.
Daniel must catch a club to win this pot. Can he do it? No,
Yes.
7 of hearts comes off. He makes 3 7s. Not going to be good enough to win this pot.
That's going to do it for Daniel Buskin, the 26-year-old pro out of Marlton, New Jersey, out tonight in third place.
Good luck, man.
We'll head over to shake hands with Jin Hwang. And then head over to the cage to pick up his $335,000.
But before he picks up his cash, we'll grab a quick word with Daniel over at the Royal Flush Girls Social Bar.
It's very nice.
Yeah, I mean, I was really card dead, and just with no chips ever to really do anything at the last few stages, it's kind of frustrating, but lose a flip, you lose a flip, so can't really do anything else.
With Daniel Buskin out in third place, we're set to crown the Season 10 Borgata Poker Open champion. Will it be Jin Hwang or Bobby Oboodi who takes the WPT Champions Cup? We'll be right back with head-to-head action on the World Poker Tour.
Frustration.
I already told you.
Yeah, of course. All right. Well, good luck, man.
Good luck to
You
you.
played great, too.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
There you see the chip count. Bobby Oboodi out in front with 22 million. Jin Hwang starting out with 17 million.
Not a huge gap between them, especially with the blinds where they are. And Jin's first hand is a good one, Mike.
Yep, he's got the 2 jacks. Powerful hand and heads up play. And he is going to raise it. Makes it 960,000 to go. Now Bobby Oboodi going to make the call with the 7 jack of spade.
960.
Must think 7-11's lucky. Let's see if it is.
He's dominated and in real bad shape heading to this flop.
And flop comes king 10-7, so Bobby's flop bottom pair. He's going to check.
Jin knows what to do. He's firing 950,000.
And quickly called by Bobby.
Bobby knows it's hard to make a pair, and he's got one.
So here we go to the turn card. And the 3 of diamonds comes off. Bobby checks. That looked like a safe card. There's no possible straight card. Not much to it, so Jin's going to bet again. 1.5 million.
Into a pot of almost 4 million, and that'll spell the end for Bobby Oboodi.
Yeah, that's a good laydown by Bobby right there.
First pot goes to Jin.
So he does things a little bit unorthodox, but yet here he is fighting it out for this title.
Yeah, he's a zigger when you expect people to be zagging.
Now, all night long, we've felt like Bobby Oboodi has played the best poker at this final table. But in truth, he came to this final table with over 11 million chips. He's starting with 23 million. So essentially, he just doubled his chip stack. Whereas Jin, on the other hand, multiplied his chip stack by 8 before he got to this heads-up battle.
I gotta be honest, Mike. It's hard not to root for the underdog. He's got Queen Jack suited here and defends his big blind against Bobby's pre-flop raise. A min raise with 7-5 off.
It shows you that satellite players, amateur players, can hang with the big boys every once in a while.
Davids do beat Goliaths from time to time. Meanwhile, the flop is King Jack 7. Jin with the best hand checked it to Bobby, who bet it. Now Jin's going to call the $500,000.
Well, again, Bobby's got 2 7s, and Jin's got 2 jacks.
Board pairs on the turn. Jin slips it to Bobby.
And again, Bobby's going to bet. I think he's put Jin on some type of drawing hand.
Jin's going to call the 600,000.
Yeah, Bobby got to be a little worried about that. And now an 8 comes off, meaning his opponent had a 9-10. He's made it straight.
2 pair.
Yeah, Bobby says 2 pair, but it's not going to be good enough. Kings and jacks are going to win this pot, and with it, the 52-year-old amateur from Maryland, Jin Hwang, has taken the chip lead here at Borgata. You know, Ali, only twice in WPT history is a short stack entering the final table, going on to win the title. I'm talking about the 2 guys that have done it, Alex Gomez and Phil Locke. Can Jin become the 3rd player to accomplish this amazing feat? We'll find out when we return on the World Poker Tour.
The level of play in these games for the stakes that we're playing is pretty surprising. I would say it's about the equivalent of maybe a live 1-3 game at a big property here in Vegas.
Yeah, so one of the cool features for the games in WPT Global is that they limit the number of professional players to 2 per table. So you can hop in there and expect a very fair and beatable lineup.
I think I'm up about 20,000 in the cash games the last 3 days or so.
Fun cash games, can't really overstate it.
The reality is that such a small small percentage of players that endeavor to succeed on a lifetime basis in poker will be able to do so. Nice to have a fallback plan. Don't need a fallback plan with ace-queen suited, though. Blinds at 250 and 500,000 with a 50K ante.
Man, heads up, you're ready to go to war with this hand, that's for sure.
Raising it up to 1.15 million. Oh, and you'd love to be up against ace-jack, as Jin is here.
Bobby does not re-raise with the ace-jack here.
I think he wants to play small pots with Jin. I think Bobby feels he can outplay him post-flop.
Well, he's smart to use that strategy.
9-high rainbow board. Bobby Oboodi checks his ace-jack over to Jin here. Jin fires the continuation bet.
Well, 1.1 million, and Bobby calls here.
This pot already up to 4.7 million.
Oh, and the jack comes off on the turn. Bobby Oboodi now has the lead. Again, he checks.
Oh, and he would love to see a decent-sized bet out of Jin here on the off chance that he'd be taking rope and firing with air. And he does have a straight draw.
Well, a lot of guys would check the straight draw right there. Just hope to get a free card to make it, but not Jin. He's firing out 2.25 million.
Hard to imagine if you get called here, your hand is any good.
And Bobby's going to make the call.
9.2 in the middle, Mike. This is a mammoth pot.
Whoever wins this pot will be the massive chip leader in this heads-up battle. The 3 of spade comes off.
Big, huge brick for Jin.
Yeah, Oboodi is checked.
Jin knows better than to fire a third barrel at this point.
Jack.
Bobby's going to realize how lucky he was to win this pot now. Ace-queen versus ace-jack. There you see his expression.
Camp Oboodi doesn't care if it's luck-based or skill-based. They just want an excuse to hoot and holler.
And Ali, when you win a pot like that, sometimes you just think destiny's on your side. It's going to be your day to take down this title.
Well, it certainly feels like it's been his final table just about the whole way to this point. Bobby on the button with queen deuce of spades.
He limps in and calls. As you said, probably trying to keep the pot small, but no thank you, says Jin Hwang.
I call.
I've got Kojak. I don't believe you can beat it. I'm going to raise here.
And Bobby's going to call the extra 750, Mike. He just wants to play in position and take flops.
Let's see if it works out for him here. The flop comes 7-6-6 with 2 spades. Bobby has the flush draw, but Jin has the best hand with the king high, and it goes check, check on the flop. And the jack of spades comes.
Oh boy, look at
This
that.
not only gives Bobby a flush, it gives Jin jacks up.
Now think about it. Had Bobby bet on the flop, Jin might have gotten away from the hand.
1.6 million.
Because he checked, gives Jin a chance to hit a card that he's going to be able to call Bobby's $1.6 million bet here.
I don't know that he's going to just call it. Bobby might have 1 spade in his hand. He might have a jack with a weaker kicker. Might be on a stone bluff. Jin trying to put all this together and solve this puzzle. I don't see him getting away from this hand, not when that jack comes off on the turn. Question is, how much is he going to put in the pot?
Well, let's gamble. I'm all in.
How about all of it?
Well, he's going to gamble all in. Well, that got Bobby's attention, but I don't see how you can throw a flush away here playing heads up.
He's going to triple check it.
I call.
Well, he has made the call. He turns up the flush.
You got it.
Well, Jin needs a world of help here. Doesn't have a ton of outs.
He now needs to catch a jack or a
all in,
6.
dude. Come on,
Nothing
baby.
else will do for him. Must make a full house to win this pot.
Can't win if it's a spade.
Well, there you see Bobby over with his boys.
You can't win if it's a spade, man. Spade out and it's over.
Saying, please let me hang on and dodge a
Put
jack
spade
or
out,
6.
it's over.
One time.
One
Spade,
card
come on,
away
lady.
from
Spade,
922,000.
spade,
Can he make
spade.
it happen?
Where the 3 of spades comes off, that's going to do it. Bobby Oboodi has done it. He has captured the WPT title that he's been striving for.
Good job.
Thank you, Ryan.
Nice play.
Well earned and well deserved.
Jin heads over to chat with the family, and I'm going to head over to get some words with our second place finisher.
Jin Hwang got in this tournament on satellite. Was supposed to be eliminated several days in this tournament. Even checked out of the hotel once. Didn't think he'd last. Ali, take it.
Here with our second place finisher, Jin Hwang. Jin, I know that you had a dream that you were going to win this particular event. It didn't work out for you. Tell me what's going through your head.
Well, still I'm so satisfied with my play.
Well, Jin, I tell you what, if every time I ran down I was taking home $550,000, I'd be a happy camper too. Congratulations.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm so happy.
All right, back over to you, Mike.
In addition to the $922,000 you take home, you're also going to get your name engraved on the WPT Champions Cup. It's going to go up there with the legends of poker. You got to be proud about that.
Yeah, absolutely. What more can you ask for than to be lumped in with those group of guys too? I'm probably better than all of them, but people will find it out real soon. People will find it out.
Well, once again, congratulations